The left has been furious since the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade, and they've directed a lot of their anger at one justice in particular.
You better hope that they don't come for you, Clarence, and say you should not be married to your wife, who happens to be white.
He's been a person of grievance for as long as I've known him. Resentment, grievance, anger.
Clarence Thomas.
Why do we think that is? Clarence Thomas didn't write the ruling opinion. That was Sam Alito. But Thomas is the one getting the majority of the smoke. And it's not just protesters. More than 300,000 people have petitioned to impeach Thomas. Dr. Ben Carson has an idea why.
For many on the left, the only thing worse than Satan is a black conservative. And, they feel that Clarence Thomas is ripe for particular scorn because he is black and he's supposed to think a certain way.
Joining me now is South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. That was a strong statement by Carson. The only thing worse than Satan is a black conservative. Do you share that opinion?
I certainly think that the greatest threat to the liberal coalition are black conservatives who stand up and think for ourselves. We represent the fact that the African-American community is not a monolithic community. If you could ever break the stronghold that the Democrats have in the African-American community, the entire coalition falls apart. And think about this, Jesse. President Biden's approval ratings have never been lower in the African-American community and the Hispanic community. The last thing people want to see are people like Clarence Thomas, Ben Carson, and myself standing up and making common sense popular everywhere in the nation. And oh, by the way, we happen to be black. That is a great threat to the entire coalition on the left. So they want to shut it down, cancel Clarence Thomas because he dares to think for himself. But more importantly, don't you think for yourself, because they want the price to be so high that you don't ever dare to leave wherever they say you should sit.
I think you put it absolutely perfectly, Senator. Have you met Justice Thomas? Tell the audience what he's like, because I've never met him, and everything I hear, he's probably like one of the most charming and funny guys there is.
You think about what Justice Sotomayor said about Justice Thomas. She said he was kind, affable, first to celebrate the victories in your life, whether it's your child's birthday. He is such a warm-hearted person. Those were her comments. But the Clarence Thomas that I've met is consistent with what she said. This is a person who rose from abject poverty in rural Georgia to live the American dream. Because in America, all things are possible. Clarence Thomas is a person who has affection for everyone, even those who disagree with him, because he understands that you can disagree without being disagreeable. Clarence Thomas is a class act.
He is, and I think that's another reason why they don't like him, because of his rise, because he didn't take handouts from the government. He did it all by himself, and they can't tolerate that. All right, Senator Tim Scott. He tells the story
of America.
You're right, and they don't want that. They don't want that story. That story doesn't work for them. Thank you so much for joining us on Jesse Watters Primetime.